On this week's Waypoint, Summoner's Rift gets a facelift, Twitch and Lucian are getting nerfs, and Marksmen items are getting an overhaul. What's up guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly League of Legends recaps for June 18th, 2014. I'm your host, Lindsay Geektron. I'm sorry I missed a week guys, I was at E3 trying out for Team Dignitas. I was all set to replace Crumbs in the jungle until they realized that I was a pro bronze player and not a top Korean jungler from OGN. Slight misstep on my application there, my bad. But the good news is I'm back and back to our normal scheduling going forward. The most exciting news of the week has to be the long awaited visual rework of Summoner's Rift itself. As you can see in this video, the difference between what we have today and what we're getting is huge. It looks like a whole new game, doesn't it? The new jungle minions look fantastic. The blue golem literally jumps out of the wall and smashes the ground. How cool is that? And he's got two little cute buddies. I love it. It just gets better though. Look at the dragon. It spawns on the wall. It roars, it spits, it stomps around, and it jumps down. That is such an improvement over the fairly dull dragon that we've had for so long. On top of the hot new look, Dragon 2.0 will have two unique area of effect attacks to make taking him a bit more of a challenge. One will be a line attack similar to Victor's E, the other a big AoE explosion. The minions haven't been left out either, you can see them duking it out here. Again, there's a massive difference with everything from the spell effects to the animations to the model and the colors. The red buff is a personal favorite, it's looking amazing, although it's definitely not a lizard anymore. It now looks like part of Maokai's extended family. Daddy Wraith didn't last very long at all, he's been replaced by a weird frog thing. The wolves are looking awesome as well, with the big one having two heads. Not entirely sure what would make a wolf grow two heads, but judging by the new Baron, our monsters are getting more than just Wheaties for breakfast. As well as the Baron's squirmy new look, he'll also have a ton of abilities to make him feel really like an epic boss. Overall, many people are just super excited about the map. The very hand-painted art style is gorgeous and we can't wait for it to hit live servers. There's no date right now, but we think we'll see it relatively soon, possibly before Worlds. And if you're worried about performance, don't fret. It'll run just as well, if not better, than our current map. Gameplay-wise, flashable walls, turret ranges, lane sizes, brush interactions, and ward placements, they're all staying exactly the same. One very nice change though is that where you can and you can't dash over base walls will be made much clearer. Base walls will look thin and dashable near the turrets, but be thicker between them. This will make it much easier to fail dash and get yelled at consistently by your team. Thanks Riot, thumbs up. Continuing the recent trend, Riot have given us a forecast for patch 4.10. We're getting a ton of marksman changes that look to completely shake up the game. Champions, of course, will be getting tweaks, but item changes and new item paths will affect everyone. Riot's overall goal is to make the marksman role more powerful than it already is. Because of that, dominant champions like Twitch and Lucian in particular will be getting nerfed, but more general changes should keep them relevant. Twitch is a definition of a hyper carry. With enough items, a tank line in front of him, and a good ulti, he can destroy an entire enemy team. Plus, the moment he gets a Bork combined with his stealth, he's suddenly an assassin in the mid game. Riot will be nerfing his early game to make up for his immense late game. Lucian is less of a hyper carry, but he is extremely well-rounded, remaining strong at all stages of the game. He has a safety through his dash, consistent poke via his piercing light, and a very powerful passive, allowing him to do a double attack. That's enough to dominate a laning phase and transition into the rest of the game. If you're against a Lucian thresh lane, good luck. Riot will be reducing his early game power and looking for more well-defined strengths and weaknesses throughout the game. On the other hand, Sivir and Tristana aren't anywhere as near as dominant, so they'll be getting some love. For Sivir, Riot wanted to solve her mana issues in the late game so she can fulfill her role as an AoE marksman. The worry with buffing Sivir is that she honestly has one of the best ultimates in the game. A team-wide speed-up is just ridiculously powerful on the offense or on the defense. Tristana has always been a late-game monster, so Riot didn't want to seem to go too heavy with the buffs, preferring to stick to more low-risk changes. Maybe some quality of life help? The item changes are really what's going to turn the marksman role on its head. BF Sword is getting a slight buff, and every item you build from it will have 80 attack damage. What this does is give you a ton of choice on what you want to get out of your BF Sword while ensuring that attack damage every AD carry needs. The stacking passive on Bloodthirster has been removed to fall in line with this new direction, but it'll have slightly more base lifesteal and a new passive that grants a shield whenever you overheal. The little attack speed items like Berserker's Greaves, Dagger, and Zeal are all getting slight buffs. just to make it a more attractive stat to get early. Right now, it's often correct to mostly ignore attack speed until you've built up your damage and your crit. We think that'll still be the case, but little tweaks like this can definitely change item path decisions. Speaking of which, with percent lifesteal return to Doran's Blade, that's going to cover a lot of your early lifesteal needs. This isn't a surprise with the rise of non-sustained supports, but there is a concern it's just going to keep healers down and out. As luck would have it, the 4.9 patch notes dropped after we already recorded our last show. Combined with my efforts to get into the pro scene at E3 last week, going over the changes at this point seems a little redundant. I will give you the short version though, so pay attention because it's a lot to take in. Braum, strong! Braum nerfed. Kha'Zix strong! Kha'Zix nerfed. Who saw that coming? Me. Probably most of you. Quick side note, Woad Quinn arrived on this patch and she's a total badass. Hopefully she'll get more popular with the 4.10 item changes. Good news for European fans, the Amsterdam data center is live! We've all seen the jokes about EU servers on Reddit, we've all seen the complaints about downtime, lag, lack of practice time. In theory, that's all over! The long-awaited Amsterdam data center should improve pretty much everything about playing on European servers and really reduce that ping. We're really happy for Europe, it was obviously very, very much needed. But for good old time's sake, I'll say it one more time. Hopefully. RIP EU West. Do you know what League of Legends lacks? Tanks. Okay, well, other than Shyvana and Mundo, and most of the other top lane. Okay, fine. We sort of have tanks. But what we don't have are great big tanks with massive guns and stuff. If that's the sort of tank you're looking for, then I highly encourage you to check out World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a free-to-play, team-based MMO, action-packed with hundreds of unlockables and hours of content to experience, all for the low price of free! It's a really fun game and not remotely pay to win. Everything can be unlocked by playing the game, keeping everyone on the same competitive playing field. There's absolutely no risk in trying World of Tanks, so head on over to gboffer.com/tanks and check it out today. Following that link and checking out the game is also just a great way to support us and help us to continue to make shows like Waypoint. Once again, to check out World of Tanks and support this content, head on over to gboffer.com/tanks and have a blast. You guys see what I did there? Blast? Tanks? Nobody? Yeah. And that does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. Be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends news. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment below and help us reach more people. And if you want more League of Legends content, recaps, and updates, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LolNationTV. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitter at Lindsay Geektron. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next Waypoint.
Game Breaker TV.